Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. It's time for more Let's Play Train Simulator. We're about to do the ST-75 mission held up by the Highwaymen. Interestingly enough, we have career scores on my friends list. I'm not used to seeing that. And yeah, this is a 40-minute scenario. Work has started on some of the overhead bridges out of San Bernardino in preparation for a third main track. So this is probably somewhere in the mid to late 2000s, I believe, when this happened. I'm going to assume that's the case because I don't have the history in front of me right now. So as a result, some 20-mile-per-hour speed restrictions are in place. In other words, we be going slow and we be being tested on it. Ooh, this will be fun. Let's get started. Preparation work has begun for the addition of a third main track. This early work involves modifying the overhead road bridges to cope with the extra track width. Be aware of speed restrictions in place around some of these works as you approach San Bernardino. Except for these temporary speed restrictions, it should be a clear run into San Bernardino Yard where you are scheduled to finish. Let's take a quick look at the train we have. Very, very quick look because we're not going to be hanging around here for too long. We have a long one today. We're waiting on the curve at the Cajon track, the Cajon passers where the track's split up. So that's basically a train going all the way back to there. We have this train going by. We'll take a quick look at that. That is train number 1478, an F7 special. We are going to be ready to go after I get rid of my labels. Reverser is up. Brakes are coming off because I have a feeling we're going to go in a second. There we go. Start applying throttle. We are immediately entering a 35 mile per hour speed limit. So this 45 that you see on the HUD, we're going to ignore that because we're immediately entering a 35. So we're just going to let people know we're moving, which we should have done before we started moving, wouldn't you think? One more thing I didn't do. Headlights aren't on. Ding! Okay, I'm going to take the throttle off because at this point it's going to be about managing the speed on a 2.2% downhill gradient. I need to figure out what the proper application is for maintaining this speed. That's not enough. 50% brake is going to help nicely with this, so let's see what kind of throttle. Nope, throttle's doing nothing. The throttle does nothing. It still does nothing. It still does nothing. If you need proof that this train absolutely sucks, ladies and gentlemen, you have to have a heavy brake application in order to control your speed, and you can't power through it. This train absolutely sucketh. So we're applying a smaller brake application now. Which is doing a good job at holding me, but it's still gaining speed, so slightly more. That will work. Now, can I power through this, please? Yes, I found something I can work with for a moment. Okay, good. I like this. We still have to go back and forth, but at least it's something I can work with. Like I'm losing more speed now. Are you gonna be like this, train? Come on. Don't be like this. I didn't like it last time. I don't like it this time either. Come on. Here we go. So I don't need to show you what we're doing getting to San Bernardino. You know this from previous scenarios if you've watched any of my Cajon past scenarios. Which are all on this playlist, by the way. So I've gone ahead and I've removed some of my throttle because I was getting to 35. I don't want to break it. I want to stay in, I'd say roughly the 32 to 35 range. I think that's good enough for the purpose of this scenario. I hope it's good enough for the purpose of this scenario. And if it's anything like the previous scenario, we're probably going to get 400 points for each part of the mission, which means we're going to have a little bit of room for speeding until we get to San Bernardino. But we have to keep an eye on where the 20s are. I have no idea where they are. There is a 45 coming up. We are probably going to be timed for going 45. Another train coming along. That is number 8298, an ST75I, the NSF model. We did dip under 32, so I am increasing the speed now. We have a solid green over red. That means that the main line is clear. The secondary line is closed. So we are staying exactly where we are. We're going line speed. Our gradient has shallowed a little bit, so I actually had to increase the throttle to a level 3 throttle. I expect the gradient will shallow even more as we go along because we are near the bottom of the pass as we start. When that happens, I'm going to have to manage the speed a little more carefully without relying on the brakes to power through. So on a 1.9% gradient now, it looks like we are gaining speed again at a higher pace than I expected. So 34 is where we are. I'm going to drop it back as low as 32. Seven o'clock in the evening on a nice, I assume, warm day in California. Adding more speed because they dipped under my 32. We seem to be gaining time though, which is good. So at the moment we're doing okay for our first timing point. We are 3 miles away from milepost 69. Thank you for not giggling. That means we're also going to be passing milepost 66 soon if we haven't already. We should have passed it by now. I might have just missed it. Cut that back. I went a little higher into the 35 than I wanted to. So back to a level 2 throttle for a moment. And going back into the 35. So yeah, let's not do that. We have a 2.2% gradient once again. And I'm gaining speed on that. So let's take the throttle completely off for a moment to make sure I don't gain too much speed. Brakes should be okay on this by themselves. I already tested that earlier. Now back to a level 1 throttle to try to somewhat maintain speed. And that is going up way too fast. Way too fast. I'll be happy when this gradient shallows out for us. Okay, back up a level. Okay, we seem to have hit a point where the train snagged, which is okay. That means we're going to be in an area where we can slowly gain and lose speed a little bit without too many problems, I think. Okay, up to 25. These freight trains on the pass can be tricky. This train does not have, as far as I know, any kind of air brake functionality. But it's also not a simple train to drive like the ST40 that comes with the route, or with the other trains that come with the route. It's not just a simple drive. It is a bit more challenging. We have a flashing yellow. I believe that means we're going to have a lane change. Oh, we're going at a 45, by the way. We can actually increase our speed. Why I have not done that yet, I don't know. We are now losing speed. We're losing time, rather. There's a train going by on the Union Pacific track. Can we not gain too much speed, please? Thank you. I had to drop the speed drastically there. I was just gaining way too quickly. I didn't get to see who that train was. Apologies. I was focusing on what I was doing. Once again, I'm going to have to drop my speed drastically here. .2% downhill gradient. There's milepost 69. I'm going to cross it in plenty of time. ETA be darned. So we're probably going to start getting warned about the temporary speed restrictions coming up in the next little area here. That is my suspicion. As long as we can nail the temporary speed restrictions, we should be okay for our timings and for our arrival, as long as the train doesn't do some weird and wacky things coming into San Bernardino. I'm going to go ahead and put a little more speed on just to make sure we have a little bit of a buffer for our actual timings coming up. We're going to have no problem crossing a third of a mile in a minute. Yep, there's our lane change. I think we can still go 45 on this lane change. There's our bonus 400. The first speed restriction of 20 miles per hour starts at the next signal. Don't let this heavy train run away from you on this downwards grade. Next signal. So we're going to go ahead and just keep an eye on our speed. We're going to drop a little bit right now, but not all the way. The next signal is going to be our speed drop. We are working on 1,200 possible points, so we can lose 200 points in this first segment here. We're going to also need a much heavier brake application. We're coming into a 40 coming up. And we are gaining speed. So yeah, a little more brakes. 20 mph start. That is not a signal. Hold on. Hold on. Drop it. Drop it. I like this is marked on the HUD. This is really nice, actually. Because if you go to the map, you would see this on the map as well, I believe. Shows it right there. 20 mile per hour start. You just saw it right there. So it actually is a spot on the HUD. Very, very nice feature. Get away. Get down. Get down, please. Thank you. Yeah, this is gonna try to run away on me. Holy, that's an emergency. What the heck? That should not have happened. Yeah, this train is not going to allow me to really keep an eye. That is not emergency. That was not even 100%. What on earth? That was not 100% at all. I did not cross it. I'm going to put some train brakes on, I think. That's the only way I can do this. So I'm going to go into coupling view and just nail a few of these handbrakes. That'll help me manage the speed a little bit, I hope. Or not. Guy. 97% is an emergency brake. Are you kidding me? That is not right. That is not right at all. Okay, get out of that view again for a second. Oh, do we have enough? No, we don't. Okay, I got enough handbrakes that's slowing me down a little bit now. I'm actually very happy about that. I was thinking of holding right there at 17. I might just do that. I can probably add a couple more handbrakes as I go here. Here we go, here we go, here we go. That's not going to be enough. Nope, not going to be enough. Time for another emergency brake, guys. Guy, I have to take emergency brake setting. I have no choice. It's a buggy emergency brake setting, but I have no choice but to do it because that's just what this train is going to do. That's what this train is going to do. I'm going to keep putting the handbrakes on. Realistically, I probably should have put a whole bunch of them on. Boy, I'm glad we have the extra room to work with on the points this time. Oh, hey! Hey! I'm okay with this. I can tolerate this. You just need about 5 million handbrakes on. We are exiting the 20-mile-per-hour section right now. You know, I'll pull one of these handbrakes off. Maybe a second one. Nope. Don't want to do that. That was a bad idea. Handbrake. Thank you. Two 2.0 is still strong enough to cause us to have problems here. So, thank goodness this is not an air brake train. Oh, what's our still 2.0 gradient? We are holding at 15. This is going to be very, very tough, guys. Okay, we're holding for right now. I'm going to risk putting a tiny bit of speed on. Not much. That'll do. Here's another train coming along as well. I do not think he's going slow enough for a 20. I don't think he's being given the same rules as we are. Number 3164. If you're getting the same rules as we are, you need to slow down, buddy. I think you need to slow down, buddy. Where are we? Dude, you are not slowing down. There is no way you're slowing down. I don't know. They're not getting the same rules we are. I am disappointed. We have a green. We can go 40 again. Let's go. But this time we're keeping those handbrakes applied. They're going to come in very handy. handbrakes are going to actually help nicely to control our speed, maybe. Maybe. We are entering a 55. We cannot go 55 yet. Well, that felt good. We are really losing speed here, so I'm going to shoot this back up. We are now on a 45. We should not be going 27.3. We are losing infinite amounts of time here. Infinite amounts of time. Let's get those handbrakes off now. We need speed. In fact, we're still on a 2.2 gradient, so we shouldn't really be this cocky about our speed right now. Yeah, I'm not like, oh, hold on. The few handbrakes we have seem to be doing a job. That'll do. Stop. No more. No more. No more. 55. Okay, more. More. 2.3. Let's go. More. So I assume with these higher speeds, the handbrake should at least be doing something. That's the likely good news here. The handbrakes are probably doing something here. Uh-oh. Okay, this is an improvement. I have a blank signal over red. I have no idea what that means. So I'm going to keep an eye on the signal up ahead, which appears to be a change lane signal. Which means I should probably be changing my speed anyway, so that's fine. I was gaining speed for a moment. But I want to know what this junction speed limit is. Is this a 45? Or is this a 40? I can afford the point loss. What I can't afford is a lot of point loss on the on my arrival at the checkpoint. Yeah, 55 is our limit, so we're gonna go. I need to get the speed up to 55 temporarily so I can get to my 2 miles as quickly as I can. I'm already going to be a few seconds late here, I believe. I don't think I can bring this back because I lost too much speed on the downhill. The question is how late I'm going to be. That is the question right now. How late am I going to be? I do need to do this within 2 minutes or I'm going to lose a lot of points, as that multiplier is going to just pick up. I am gaining time. This is the good news. There's a train coming along here. That is a 5364. You can see there is a signal on the HUD up ahead. In fact, you can see it visibly ahead of us as well. I'm zoomed in for some reason. I don't know why I was zoomed in. I seem to have hit a good zone right now for speed, so I'm trying to stay in this zone. Took long enough to find one. That's a green signal, I believe, up ahead. Milepost 77 is right there. We are late, according to the timing, but how much leeway are we going to be given on this timing? We're going to find out. Whatever 400 minus the number we get is how late we are, because we are within 1 minute. Actually, we might not be within 1 minute. I can't reach that in time. I might be losing 120 points on this timing. I am not liking this at all, guys. Give leeway. Please give leeway. Oh, we only lost 24 seconds. I will take that. There is a final longer stretch of restricted speed coming up. When you are clear, oh boy. When you are clear, normal speed limits will apply as you head into San Bernardino Yard. We're going to get down there in time, I think. We're good. I'm going to apply a couple more handbrakes again. Heavy brakes, please. Didn't get to see who that train was, sorry. Didn't have time. Gonna put a little speed on to make sure we don't lose it completely. Handbrakes are doing their job, I believe. Whoa, 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 hold on. Here we go. So we've crossed the starting point for the next 20. I don't see these signs saying where the 20 is located. And I don't know why they're working on this section, because there's already a fourth track here. So I'm not sure what they're working on here. Like, honestly, I don't know. Unless there's 5 tracks here now, that's possible. Okay, I found the zone, guys, and there is the end of our 20 section ahead, but we're going to have to get the entire train out of the 20 section before we can go back to normal speeds. I believe at the end of this 20 section, the gradient is also going to shallow, so we're going to also get ready to start removing those handbrakes, because we're going to want to be able to start going normal speeds when we get down to that section. Honk at the workers, let them know we're here. I mean, they should know by now, but... I'm actually losing speed on level 2 gradient. Does that mean I'm shallowing out? It must be. Yeah, we're starting to shallow out. Time to remove some handbrakes, I think. Too many handbrakes removed. Hold on. Back off. Nope. More handbrakes, please. No, no, no. Brakes, brakes, brake, 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 brake. What are you doing? What are you doing? Brake. You piece of junk. What are you doing? No. What are you doing, you piece of junk? Wow, what a hunk of garbage. What a hunk of garbage. Can't even just behave with the speeds. What is wrong with this stupid train? Wow, don't play with this train, guys. This train is just gonna mess with you. And don't expect me to spend any more time on this train. I don't mind seeing it as AI, but I'm probably not going to want to drive this thing very much. If I do, it's going to be in a standard scenario only. No more career scenarios with this thing. This is just ridiculously stupid. The only reason I'm continuing with this is because we have the 400 points for each strip, and I'm only hoping I'm not going to be late on the last one. Right now I'm still showing to be on time. But I'm only hoping I'm not late on the last one. We're coming to the end of the 20. We're going to have a speed limit going up again. But we have to get ourselves clear of this as we enter San Bernardino Track 1. I fully expect to have some lag at some point as we go along, like I said before. We're coming into the main stretch right now. Let me just show a quick look of the overhead. There you go. So this is straight up down as we come into San Bernardino. It's a straight up down turning to the what looks like the left on the map, but our right. Don't do this. Don't. What are you doing, you piece of junk? You useless piece of junk that doesn't want to drive properly. No, 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 no! Oh, man. You cannot be on time in this scenario the way this is going, guys. You cannot be on time in this scenario the way you have to drive this train. We have a yellow. That means we're going to have a flashing red entering the yard finally at the next section. At this point, I don't care if I'm late. You want to do this to me? I don't care if I'm late. Arrival time is in literally the next 6 seconds. Actually, no, the gate is up ahead further. Why am I going 11? Why am I going 11? So you need to have a good handbrake pattern. Oh no, it's getting speed. You have to have a good handbrake pattern for this scenario, I'm finding. I think this is the idea. Have a good handbrake pattern. We are going to be super late at this point. We are going to be super late, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. Don't do this. Don't do this, please. So we did have about 5-10 seconds of lag there. I fully expected it. The game is not optimized in the San Bernardino area at all. I don't know if any core improvements are ever going to happen to make that work, because it is such an old route. But, oh, 55. Go, 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 go. So if any core improvements do get made, hopefully this route does get included, even though it's not the most popular or optimized route. It is one of the most used routes for scenarios, so they kind of should pay some attention to it, I would say. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. Oh, I need to get my handbrakes off, apparently. Need to hurry and reach the point as soon as I can and not lose any more points as I enter the 15, which is right before that marker. So I have to get myself down to 15 before the marker for Sandbar Yard Gate 1 and just pray that I am not excessively late. This may be a scenario that may not be possible to get down. I have to get down to 30. Brakes off, brakes off. Good enough for now. Good enough for now. I need to hit the brakes even more in just a moment. Here we go with that now. Don't do that. Brakes, please. I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. +2. I got 1,000. I got 1,000. We can do this. We got it. What an excessive pain in the butt this scenario was, guys. Now we have to go to San Bernardino Yard 12. Why am I stopping? Why am I stopping? Let's just make sure that the path ahead is set the way it needs to be. It is 100% set the way it needs to be. Awesome. I'm just going to go slowly. I don't care. I can go slowly. I'm happy with this. We're going to be taking a bit of an uphill into the yard, so I'm going to actually have to remove those handbrakes as I go into the yard, ironically enough. So I believe I've removed all handbrakes now. No, 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 enough, 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 enough. Don't do that. Wow. And I'm caught speeding. You little jerk. How was I speeding? I don't care anymore. I'm stopping the train exactly where I want to. I don't care. I don't care. Guys, just so you know, off camera, I'm redoing this scenario with all of the speeding penalties not being applied, 0 multiplier, 1,000 points for every stop, because I am not letting that garbage stand on the menu. I am not letting that garbage stand. That is going to be replaced over time. That is going to be replaced. That is garbage. Guys, do not waste your time testing on this scenario unless you remove all the speeding penalties. This scenario and this train are absolutely atrocious. I would recommend just seeing how I've had to drive in these scenarios and seeing how painfully awful it is driving in these scenarios, that until improvements are made to this train, which I don't think is ever going to happen given the age, but until improvements are made to this train, do not buy this train. Do not buy this train. This train is just atrocious to handle, and the cars tend to push it forward in ways that it should not be getting pushed forward. How did I suddenly remove all of my speed, but yet all of a sudden my speed just shot up 3 or 4 miles in the span of 1 moment? And right now it's trying to do it again. It's trying to do it again right now. Any more sudden bursts, I'm just bringing this train to a stop. Like, that's not fair. That is not fair at all. That is not fair on a career scenario at all. So yeah, I will set that in my own time to put the 1,000 on there because that is not proper at all. It really isn't. I seem to have hit the massive uphill now, so if I can't gain any speed quickly, which I am, so I should be alright. I mean, you saw that. 91% brakes, and I was still gaining speed. 91% brakes. From going perfectly fine to suddenly gaining speed. Yeah, I know, the cars push you, that's what it is. Stop with that. Don't give me that. It's not proper handling on this train at all. I don't know why I'm wasting my time pulling this in. I want someone else to finish this, but I'm just, you know, I just can't stop. I have to see how bad it is going into the yard, too. But yeah, this is easily on my top 5 for one of the worst trains I've ever driven. Both the I and the M model. Easily one of the worst trains I've ever driven in this game. So being an old train makes perfect sense. Somehow I'm losing speed now. Now I'm gaining speed again. Guys, the yard is not long enough for my train. So they gave us an unrealistic train, and the yard is not long enough for it. Like, look at this. I'm coming to the end of the yard right now. I'm coming to the end of the yard as we speak. The junction is set for me, but I'm going to be blocking other trains coming into the yard the way this is set up. Look where I am. Just stop it right here. I don't care. Stop it. And let's look at the train as we finish the scenario, shall we? So yeah, don't let the looks of this train fool you guys. Do not waste time driving this train. This train just handles so wonky, so badly, and a scenario that might have been somewhat enjoyable, trying to challenge myself on holding that train down a hill. The cars just push you so wonkily, is that a word? That you can't even control it. It's literally uncontrollable. You can't maintain a consistent speed while coming down that hill, and a proper train with air brakes or something like that would be able to do it no problem. So you've arrived at the correct siding in San Bernardino. The journey took slightly longer than usual due to the speed restrictions, but you managed to do a good job. Yeah. Can I have my 1,000 points, please? Yeah, points aren't anything. I don't care about the points. I just think it should be possible to get the 1,000 points in a scenario. And in this scenario, even though I did manage to get to the point that I was able to get it, I was not willing to crawl at 1 kilometer an hour and stop with the engine and the siding to do it. So, let's go to the scoring screen. So yeah, you can see the problems I had with the scenario started with random emergency brake settings, which forced me to move to setting about at least half of my hand brakes, once that was set, at least I had some control of the speed, but it was still a very wonky speed control. It still didn't work very well, and I just found it impossible to handle. I really found it impossible to handle. I did not like how that worked. So you can see the speeding penalties then showed up as well. I don't remember exactly what speed I was in at that. Oh, I was in the 30, or I was in the 20. So I didn't slow down quickly enough for the 20 apparently. And then entering the yard, I didn't get down quickly enough for the yard. But somehow, even though 2 speeding penalties showed up, or even though those speeding penalties happened right before the gate, I managed to get down in time for the gate entry. And then somehow I randomly got moved to a 17 and a 15 without my consent. I was not even on a major hill. The speed just suddenly went, from what I can remember, and you can check the video. I'm going to check the video too. I think it went from 12 to 16 in no time flat. And I just do not understand what happened there. So I'm a little baffled. I'm a little annoyed, as you can probably tell in my voice. And when I am annoyed like that, I get even. I'm basically going to turn around and I'm going to put 1,000 points in that scenario whatever way I have to. So expect me to play this with speeding penalties off. I'm going to take the speeding penalties off in the scenario. I'm just going to drive in and do whatever I want to do. That's probably what's going to happen. So I'm going to have my own little fun off video with this to put that 1,000 points on there just to say, hey, you know what? You did this badly. I'm doing it my way. So there you go. In a realistic railroad, you wouldn't have a problem speeding for a few miles. That's perfectly fine. They would expect you to speed a little bit by accident. It wouldn't count against your performance at all if it happened to you just once in a while by accident. But if it happened as a consistent thing, then yeah, they'd go after you for sure. Again, I'm not a railroad driver. I'm only saying what I suspect to be the case. It's like when you're driving a car. Sometimes your foot goes on the throttle, you go 5 over the limit without realizing it. But a cop's not going to pull you over most of the time for going 5 over the limit. They're going to get you if you're going 20, 30 over the limit, because that's where the big bucks come in for the police department, because they can ding you for a couple $100 for going 30 over the limit, compared to the the paltry 50 or 70 or 90 that you get for going at a much slower speed over the limit. So they want to go after the big fish, not you little small fry. So Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in a train environment, you are actually told if you're going 2 over the limit, you got to watch your speed. Maybe they track it. But unless there's a tracker at every single train telling you telling the office what speed your train is going at any time and alluring them to speeding trains, otherwise, I don't think being 2 over the limit is really going to matter much of the time. It's not like you have an examiner in there every time you drive a train. So, yeah, I think the speeding penalties in this game are just unrealistic not just for this train or this scenario, but all scenarios. Speeding penalties are just unrealistic. To always expect to be within a mile of the limit, just unrealistic. So, yeah. That's all I'm going to say on that. Anyway, what are we going to do next time? I don't know. I haven't actually thought that out yet. I do want to move away from Cajon Pass for the next thing, because given that this is going to be a Tuesday publication, I don't think I'm going to have a Wednesday scenario for this particular item, because there's going to be, whatever train I drive, it's going to be at least 2 scenarios. So I'm going to hold off on that. I may take tomorrow off, and I may even what I might do is I might go to a Bedford branch, or I might go to Adrian County or something like that, and just find a random scenario using a train we've already driven. If I can find something like that, I might play that just to introduce the route, and then we're going to move into something new on Friday. But this is if I feel like doing it and if I have time. I do have family obligations as well. I know I have a family member who wants me to come out this week, but I'm recording this in advance for once. I'm actually getting back into having some things ready to go in advance. So I might still have time to pull off an extra scenario here and get this out for you on Wednesday tomorrow. And if I do, then you'll see that. If not, then I'll see you on Friday for the next scenario. In the meantime, hope you have a wonderful day, evening, or night. Make sure you like the video, especially if you like the pain that I went through for trying to drive this train to its destination for your amusement. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, especially if you like seeing Train Simulator Classic content, and Train Sim World 2. I'm going to start doing some of that for soon as well, I hope. As long as the quality works out. And just join the Discord server and chat with me about how bad of a train driver I am. In the meantime, have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever it is for your part of the world. I'll see you next time for more Train Sim Classic. I'm Cyclone. Bye-bye.